name is Souli. I'm a recording artist, I'm an actor, and I'm a dancer. Oh yes, I love food, so put me on.
Okay, so today, can you tell the people what you'll be trying?
Okay, I cannot tell the people what I'll be trying. I know it's jollof rice. I know it's some kind of spiced chicken. I'm not sure what it's called though. And I know we got some lamb over here. We got some beef, some sliced beef, but I'm gonna butcher the words. You're gonna have to tell me what it actually is.
Okay. Well, here we go. We have your jollof coming for you.
I'll bet.
Chicken.
I'll bet. Yes, sir. I'm ready. Oh, they got plantains too.
Yeah, bro.
Going crazy. Does it matter where I start?
It doesn't matter where you start.
All right, man. Then we're gonna start with a jollof, right? I should got a spoon for this. Hold on, get some of the veggies with it. Boy.
So rate that on a scale of 1 to 10.
Hold on. That is like the best rice I've ever had, so I gotta give it a 10. I mean, there's nothing to compare it to. Yeah, wow, that's hard.
Is this your first time having jollof?
Yeah, that's my first time, like ever.
Your first time having jollof?
I feel like I might have had it once before, but I'm not. No, I haven't been exposed to enough African foods, to be honest with you.
Okay, interesting.
I can't tell you seasoning wise, but it's definitely got obviously rice in it. It's got some onion, looks like some peppers in here. I wonder what that seasoning is though. Like, what's the sauce? Like, is it some kind of broth? Like, some kind of like chicken kind of reduction or something? It's something that's holding it. What makes it sticky? What makes it stick together?
It's the stew. Straight out of it.
Man.
It's the stew in the water kind of makes it sticky.
Yeah.
An actor.
I think I was just never afraid to try new things. I started off in the music lane. I always had a passion for music. And I got into the audio engineering space for a while. So I was recording artists. And through that process, I started recording myself for practice. And then I kind of discovered some things during that process. I was like, oh, I'm kind of good at this. But how do I get better? Like, and I've always been very competitive. So I'm like, I started training. I started doing vocal lessons. I started really studying the greats. And then when it came to that, I got the music part pretty solid. I was like, okay, performance is a whole nother aspect of being an artist that is aside from the music. So I was like, how do I become a better performer? I need to learn how to dance. So I got into dancing. And not just dancing, but like part of dancing, part of all of it is acting, is putting on a show, being able to have stage presence, all these things that are part of the acting world. So I kind of just, through discovery, developed myself in that way. Okay, so I grew up right here in Georgia. I'm from Marietta. My parents are from Chicago. So most of my family has, over the years, they've migrated to the South, but a lot of my family, both my mom and my dad's side, are up in Chicago. So growing up, I always had that influence of the Midwest kind of music, like Kanye West, Common, Lauryn Hills, the Biggies. Like, this is what I was listening to growing up, just because that's what my dad listened to. My dad loves music. So for me, it was just kind of always a part of my life. And I didn't really think it would become the main focus of my life until I got older. I went through school, went to college and everything. Got a college degree in Spanish. Like, I got to travel a little bit because of that. And it was just like, I think while I was traveling and when I left America and got to see other places, went to Ecuador, went to Dominican Republic, And I kind of just saw how they were living out there. Their focus is so much different. Like in America, we're very competitive and it's all about capital and gains and things like that, where over there it's very much community centered. Like, you know, we're very individualized over there, and in other places it's not like that. So while I was over there and I was kind of just soaking all this in, it was my first time being abroad in Ecuador, and I was just like, what is it that I actually want to do with my life? Like, I know what I'm supposed to do, I know what's expected of me, but what is it that I really desire? What would I do if I could just have everything my way? And I think when I went from there. So I came back home and I went online and I looked for an internship, and that's how I got into audio engineering. I was just like, I don't know anything, but I need to start somewhere. Where can I go where there's music around you all the time? A studio. And like that was a whole like 2-3 years experience, and it kind of I just evolved from there. Okay, so when I was over there, I actually was in a mountainous area. I was staying in Cuenca, Ecuador. So up in the Andes Mountains in Ecuador, and it's a lot of kind of like rural farming and like very like organic fruits and vegetables that they harvest up there. Like the Lourdes was the lady I was staying with. She actually had a garden in her backyard. These are fire. No, she actually had a garden in her backyard. She would make us breakfast with the stuff that she was growing in her backyard. And I thought it was so cool because I had never seen that. All the groceries I'm typically used to eating, we went to the store, we bought them, you know what I'm saying? They're probably processed, probably had all sorts of like additives in them. They weren't natural, you know. But these were like, they tasted different. Like the food tasted different because it was organic, and it made you feel better. You had more energy. Like you got more nutrients from it all together. So it was just a different vibe. I was just out there like, man, y'all eat like this all the time? Like, y'all do this? This is normal? I come back to the US, man, my skin's breaking out and everything for like the first 2 weeks I'm back. I have to get acclimated to the pollution, to the food, everything that I had been away from for, a month or two. So it was crazy. I'm about to go crazy on this chicken though. I can like, ooh, thank you, bro. I'm gonna need that for sure. We need this for sure. Don't judge me, I'm about to get real messy.
Enjoy.
Oh, snap.
That's what the show's for.
Bro. Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so.
My boy. My boy. So I got into, well, like I was saying before, I was studying the greats. I was looking at the best people to have ever done this entertainment thing. Like I was looking at the Michael Jacksons, I was looking like at the Ushers, the Chris Browns, and like, just like, what did they all have in common? They were great performers. Like people would travel from all over and pay whatever money to see them live. Not just because their music sounded good, of course, but like they were fun to watch. And like what elements made that fun? The dancing, the acting, like, cause you can deliver a show a certain way and make it a unique experience. Like you can dance, of course, but like, how do you open the show? Like, was it theatrical? Was there like any kind of role playing? What were the outfits? Like, what's the theme? Like you can really make it a full, well-rounded show by adding other elements, because they all are connected essentially. Like the acting, the dancing, the music is all intertwined. So if you can work on every like leg of it, if it's like a three-legged stool or something, if you make sure they're all solid, you're gonna have a solid foundation and be able to do whatever you want to do. And that's just the goal, I think, more than anything, is have freedom of expression within whatever medium.
Top five.
Okay, for sure. Michael Jackson's up there. You know what I'm saying? Chris Brown was like a reincarnated Michael Jackson in a lot of ways. I think he's an excellent artist. On the rap side, I would have to say Common. He's an artist out of Chicago. Not as popular, not very mainstream, unless you really just know. Kanye West, one of the GOATs of production. you know, and just, you know, he's Kanye West. Kanye West. And all time. Pharrell Williams. How many did I name? Is that 5? Yeah. A live dancer. And this has to be like, just like, I don't know. I've never thought about that, honestly. One dancer. I would just collaborate with my friends. I live amongst living legends. Like, and it's like, these aren't people that are known to the public necessarily yet, but these are like the future. Like, I would say, especially in the Afrobeats lane, Olivia Danso, she's really sick. I met her when I first started dancing at I Inspire Studios. And she was interning there, but she now teaches dance classes. So whenever I get online on Instagram, I see her doing her thing and her doing her collaborations. I'm like, you are our legend. She doesn't know yet. Nobody knows yet, but she's on her way. And I'm really excited to keep watching her do her thing. So shout out to you, Olivia. What inspires me to act? I think I'm just a performative person because I'm a very visual person and I see things, I guess, before they happen or before I do it. So whenever I'm thinking of something or an idea, I actually get a visualization of what it's going to look like before I even know what it's going to sound like. So when I'm about to make music, I'm like, what is the scene I'm going for? What does it look like? Who am I talking to? What are we doing? And that informs what direction or what feeling I'm going to put into the music. So I think acting has always kind of been a natural aspect of my creative process anyway, because I want to know what it's going to look like on screen before I even understand what the music is going to do to support that. If I could act with any of my 3 favorite actors, it would be Donald Glover, it would be Jamie Foxx, and it would be there's so many good ones out there. Will Smith, why not? Afrobeats. Oh yeah, so Afrobeats is, I know obviously it's been around, but it's been popular within the last, I would say, 10 years. People really started catching it in America with like Burna Boy and Wizkid. And like, it's just been it's been explosive. Like, honestly, it's fun music, it's uplifting, which I think is a great contrast to what we've been experiencing as hip hop artists locally. I think hip hop has been in a bad place, or stuck in the same place, I would say, for the last 10 years. There hasn't been much progression and change within the genre. And it's been very dark music. It's been sex, it's been drugs, it's been murder, it's violence. So for Afrobeats kind of came back as like a rebound to that, almost as a response, because I think everything moves as a pendulum. So you have too much of one thing, it has to balance itself out. And Afrobeats being so uplifting and fun, dance type music, like when's the last time people were dancing in the club? Then Afrobeats bounces back and everybody's like excited to go to the club and actually move now, instead of standing on the wall trying to look tough. So I think Afrobeat getting popular now is a response to what's been happening with our own culture. People are tired of the heaviness, of the darkness. People want to feel good, and Afrobeats definitely fills that need. Man, it is excellent. Oh man.
Top five.
My top 5 Afrobeats artists that I've listened to right now: Burna Boy, Wizkid. I don't want to butcher this. Is Arya Starr? Where is she from? She's fire. I don't know where she's from though, to be honest with you. She's from Nigeria. She's hard. Who else? I can't even remember old girl's name. Where's old dude from Atlanta? Well, he grew up here. He went to school. He went to Georgia State.
Oh, DeVito?
Hmm?
DeVito?
DeVito. Boom. That's what I was thinking of. Oh, that's tough. Okay, what is my favorite part of the African diaspora? I love a few different things. I think they have some of the most beautiful people. Let's start there, like just to look at. Like I love their women. I love the way they dress. Like I love the colors, the vibrancy of that. Like they just express so much just in what they wear. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know, it's just the bright colors, all of that, it's so much that you get from just looking at them. And then to speak with them and like them talk from a place of like, I don't know how to say it. They just are very firm in who they are. And I think as a black African American who's never been to Africa, who's not, you know, influenced by that culture, it's kind of refreshing to meet people who know where they come from, because it's a different mindset. To be honest with you, I don't know if I can. Like, I think they got their own thing, and I think it's dope, and I think it's unique to them, and I think it should be celebrated. But as far as my upbringing, I had to realize as I've gotten older that though we come from the same ancestry, I'm not like per se African. So like that culture, that thing that they draw upon is not necessarily what I draw upon, because that's not what I'm used to. That's not what I know. So, I mean, I would love to collaborate with some Afrobeats artists. I think that's amazing. You see what Chris Brown's doing, you see what everybody's doing. Like, it's like the hot thing to do, but I genuinely enjoy the music. So I think that would be a cool collaboration. But I don't know that I could add anything to it per se. How would I help the African infrastructure if I could? Well, I know they have a big desertification problem, a big water shortage problem. They deal with droughts, they deal with climate change, and they take the brunt of it because a lot of them rely on the land to feed their families, to make money. So like when there's a drought and they can't raise crops, or they can't have farm animals, and you know, they don't have clean water, they have sanitation, you know, issues. You know, so many things are tied to water. So when you have a water shortage, that's going to affect a lot of things. So if I could fix one problem in Africa, I would definitely, you know, help with the water infrastructure issue, because I think that'll allow them to, you know, do the things they need to do. All right, so me being an African American, I have sometimes heard there be some back and forth between African Americans and Africans, because sometimes they'll be like, well, it all centers around the word of black, or what's considered black and what's considered not black, right? So it's like, if I'm African, then I'm African, and we have our own culture and we're our own thing that is separate from African Americans. And I can't say all African Americans, but some African Americans long for belonging, because we've never felt like we belong here in America. This is where we are due to history and circumstances, but America still acts to this day that they don't really claim like or see us as equal to every other American. We're black Americans. We're a specific, separate part of what America is. So depending on how you're looking at it, you might long to be or to connect to that African history, that African heritage, but you actually weren't raised in that culture. So you're reaching for something that you don't quite understand, something that you're not quite part of. And then you have Africans that were actually born and raised in Africa come over here, and they see the differences in us. Like, yes, we might share the same ancestors, but you and I are not the same. And so there is a little bit of a difference. And like, it's almost offensive, I've seen, with some Africans being called black, because they don't want to be associated or compared to what African Americans are looked at or portrayed as right here in this time. So I know I'm not that. I'm African, I'm Nigerian, I'm Ghanaian, whatever it is, but I'm not black, I'm not African American. That's a separate thing. So, you know, it really just depends on who you're dealing with and how they view themselves culturally, and how they feel themselves on a value scale in comparison to what Americans or black Americans view themselves. But I think even that is a whole nother topic. How do we actually view ourselves versus how is media and this country and just the circumstances that we find ourselves in, what is being pushed? What's the agenda? And I think we could talk for days about that alone. So what could we do to eradicate the negative connotation of Black Americans?
In Africans.
And Africans, okay. I think awareness, just cultural awareness is the biggest thing. I think ignorance or just lack of information leads to a lot of assumptions. And when you have a lot of assumptions, you have people bumping heads over things because they're not speaking the same language. Like literally and like figuratively, people aren't speaking the same language. We aren't coming from the same place of understanding. So educating, sharing our cultures, sharing our ideologies, we might be able to find through that we actually share a lot of things in common and we have a middle ground.
So we're gonna ask you to guess the flag, and then just let us know if you can guess it.
Oh man.
I'm not sure. Okay. So what's this first one?
Ghana? I don't know. I have no idea.
Nope.
Nigeria?
Okay.
No, that's Ghana. I do not know these, man. Oh. That's, I know I've seen that one before. I just don't know which one it is. Nope. This is really bad. I don't know any of these flags, bro. You know, the only time I see these flags are in people's bios. I'm like, she's like, this flag, I don't know what that means, but here I am.
So you don't know this one?
I don't know any of these, not for real. No. Are these all West African? It's like the West African coast? That's all what these are?
These are just African.
Just African period. Yeah, it's over with.
So that's an
I don't know any of these flags, bro. Nah. I've seen this. Is that Congo? Damn. Yeah, I don't know. I've seen them. I just can't put it into a country. You not show me this one already? Very similar to one I just saw. This is not fair. My God, like. It's like the third time in a row I've seen this flag, bro.
No.
I don't know any of these flags, bro.
That was our last one. So you got one right.
Bro, I'm sorry. They do not teach African history in American schools. All right, so again, my name is Souli. I have a new single out called We On. It's streaming on all platforms. You can find that on my social media pages. It's just Souli, ITSJUSTSOULI on all platforms, Instagram, TikTok, wherever you're at. You'll find my music in my bio and be on the lookout for our collaboration project that's coming out in the second quarter called Strange to Me. Me and Gene have been working on that last year and we're excited to finish that up and put that out. So I will see you guys then.
You had a mission, it's hard to finish to raise up the rest of your kids. I got a chip on my shoulder, a scar on my head.